Now, when have you last danced in the rain, shaking off the wet and really enjoying yourself? Yes, I haven't either. So let's explore why we should do that more often. Hello, I am Sigrid de Strategic Marketing and Visibility Specialist, and I have this big vision to position established and bold leaders to showcase their expertise, expand their influence, and connect with high-value opportunities on a global virtual expo platform where the right decision makers come to you without the limits of location or time. And to answer that question, when you've last danced in the rain, I have invited Connie Kobylko, joy guide and life celebrant, to share how she helps people transform life's turning points into those powerful new beginnings. Hello and welcome, Connie.
Hello, Sigrid. It's so great to be here with you.
It's lovely to have you, and the joy is shining off your smile already, Connie. I am so interested in, uh, you know, big purpose is what you have around bringing joy to people and helping them on powerful new beginnings. So, navigating loss and craving a deeper purpose, or just simply helping people to be ready and to feel lit up again. Tell us or tell me about where this started for you. Where's the starting point that you really came into the drive of wanting to support more joy, new joy in life for us?
Well, that's a great question. I hold two very special roles in my life. One is that of a joy guide or facilitator, and as well a life celebrant. In my role as a life celebrant, I walk alongside families who have lost loved ones. And through the stories and memories that I'm hearing of their loved one, I weave their qualities and their essence into the celebration of life memorial that I write and officiate. So I actually am bringing their story to life and connecting with the hearts of those that are missing them dearly. As I have been walking alongside these families, not only do I hear the most incredible life journeys, but I have also heard about the regrets, how mom maybe wanted to travel the world and she waited until she retired, and then a health situation has diminished that dream. Or perhaps, we as moms, we wait until our children are a certain age. I'll wait until my kids are bigger, then I'll do this for me. And sometimes that doesn't happen. We don't know how many sunrises we have. And it got me thinking, wow, life really is so precious and it truly is short. And we hear that all the time. But I think we hear that so often that we really don't see the value or understand the value of it. And when I decided to use me as my example, I thought, you know what? I'm still that little girl that has dreams and aspirations right here inside of me. And what am I waiting for? What am I waiting for? And I decided we need to live more fully and more joyfully, and we actually get to choose how we want our life story to look. And so, through my role as a joy guide, I actually guide you so that you're reconnecting with those dreams and those visions. And let's let those dreams be your wings. Let's fly.
That is so wonderful because from the passing away from this world, from this way of life into another, that is that critical moment for many people to reassess. And of course, for those that we are losing at that moment, they can't assess it. So you're giving us a moment to consider, what are we actually doing? Are we dancing in the rain right now while we are here? I love that, Connie. So I've got a quick question. Do you dance in the rain on that side of the world where you are?
Well, I do actually. And because I live in Canada, we do get snow. And you will have seen me do snow angels in the snow, flapping my arms just like that little girl, making those angel wings. And just most recently at Easter time here, I actually was blowing bubbles outside, just like that little kid, and just having fun. fun.
And that is just great because it is a bit of movement as well as the smile. As soon as we start smiling, we do feel much more joyful, I think, to some extent. Most people do. So I love that you have turned that into a direction for us in general to come to you and bring us back into wanting to and seeing where moments in life that are joyful, that can be joyful, that we might not see. Now, we're living in times where joy in many parts of the world and for many people is not in the forefront of their thinking. So tell me a little bit about where is the starting point for someone? So we have the moment where you are a celebrant and a family comes to you at that moment. That is one situation. But do people come to you also aside from that later on once they got to know you and come back and say, we need some more joy for ourselves? Which are the most often moments that people come to you when it is that, that moment of them having lost someone, or is it even after?
Beautiful question. I actually have people come to me for a variety of reasons. Loss is the big one, and it's not necessarily loss through someone passing, but we experience loss in different ways in life. Because of our economy, there are people who have lost their jobs, positions that they've held for a long time, and that's who they identified with. So, who are they now that they're no longer in this role? Parents who have become empty nesters. Who are they when they're no longer holding that title of, mom or dad? When someone has lost a loved one, often we do things together as a couple, right? And so who am I without that other person? But sometimes we also just get that little nudge in life where we know that there's something more, but what is it? We know that there's something waiting for us, but we don't know what that is. So it's all of these people that come into my world and they take part in my joy sessions. I have a beautiful program called Your Light Within, and that's where we take you on your own personalized journey through virtual sessions. You're in a group of people seeing and hearing all these incredible ideas, and as well connecting with other people because that's so important. I also sacred walk along retired living communities. And that word retired, I dislike that word. So I take the tired out of retired and I change that to reignite, re-inspired, refocus, because no matter what age you are, there shouldn't be the switch to off. We should always be on. And in essence, when we are in the 60 plus category, in that beautiful age that they call the golden years, I think that that should really be our encore. Let's have another debut and let's have fun in life.
And that is so valuable, what you've just shared. Loss in general, we have loss in so many ways every day, often in some ways, and it always depends how we look at it, is what I take away from you, what you've shared so far. So, loss in any way, I can come to you and you guide me with the programs that you have and you customize it by the sounds of it to the situation. But it's really valuable to touch on the retired, which is, I love how you've just taken that word into two, not being tired, but actually getting more exuberant, getting into life in a different way, from a different angle, and with different moments of joy. We have a very large amount of people at that stage where, we are perhaps finished with the active work life that we were in, but it is time for something new and something more. What is in a person's first step that you would look at with them to perhaps move more towards joy? Is there like a first moment, a first step that you look at with somebody?
First of all, I ask questions so that I can get a sense of what was your walk in life? What were the things that you like to do? And what have you not yet done that you've always wanted to do? So it's a matter of connecting to that dream because, like I said, there's always that little boy or that little girl sitting inside of us still. We haven't played completely in our lifetime. So I get you connected to, it could be just one single little dream, one little vision. And then what we do is a vision meditation where I actually have you envisioning what that looks like. What does that dream look like? How does it feel? Envision what the atmosphere is like. Who's there with you? What are your surroundings like? So that you're actually being in that moment. And through the guided meditation, I have you step into you so that you are stepping into that vision and it becomes your reality. And as after you come out of the guided meditation, all those feelings are just really creating ripples already. I have you write them down. We do some journaling so you have something to anchor to, something to focus on. And then we start identifying the little baby steps that are needed to get you there.
Is it difficult for some people to walk towards joy? When you just said, think about, you're asking lots of questions, think about, that little girl that's inside of me. What would she like to do? What's a dream she hasn't done yet? It wouldn't come to me easily. And I could imagine many people may not be easily jumping into a joyful moment or dream because it does kind of get covered with layer after layer throughout life, especially at that, later stage that we come to. What sort of tips or guidance do you have when that dream is not up at the top and we can't kind of get it? Does it just take time or does it take certain questioning from you, Connie?
It's a combination of both. And I have to say that as adults, sometimes we forget that we have those dreams. Sometimes it takes something to trigger it. And if that's the case, then what we do is, what would you like to envision in the next 24 hours? What would you like your perfect day to look like? Let's start small then, so that we can start planting those seeds and creating the baby steps, getting people comfortable with the vision. And when sometimes people say, I've never meditated before, I don't know how that is, I'll get you to close your eyes and just say, envision what your front door looks like. And they'll create a vision in their mind. I go, that's visioning.
That I love that. That is so valuable what you've just shared there, Connie, because in the big picture and from a business perspective, where I do operate in a lot, we have these long-term goals. What's it going to look like in 12 months? What's it going to look like in 5 years? Or, those longer terms. And that can be really tricky because life changes, the world changes. How can you know or think or even plan for 12 months ahead, never mind in your personal life? I love that the first step could be think about 24 hours. And even if that becomes a little bit of a hurdle for somebody to think that way, you simply let them imagine something that they know and see all the time. That is such a powerful idea of using. I just think that is Connie, have you created a 3-step or 5-step little booklet yet about your steps here? They are just so valuable. If you haven't yet, I would love to see that in the future. Connie is going to be at our global virtual expo, and if you come and join us as a visitor, maybe she will have something like that created by then, Connie.
Planted a seed. Let's do it.
So let's do a little recap. People come to you for loss because loss happens to us all the time in so many different ways. And that's really brought you hearing that specifically from the background of helping people at a moment when they've lost a person in their life, remembering that we have all of our lives right now in front of us, right now to enjoy. And we can jump out there in the puddles in the rain and get ourselves wet and shake it off like we used to do as children. I like it that you're guiding us through steps to really regain that joy and not look at stage of life as retired, but look at reigniting that steps. So that includes you asking lots of questions and bringing us to vivid imagination moments through meditation. If you were to take somebody on today, what would be the first question you would ask them, Connie?
The first question I would ask is, if I could grant them one wish, what would that be?
I love it. I love it. One wish. So, in your time that you have worked as a celebrant, you really are celebrating each person's life and you are allowing them to come to you, whether that is around that time or later on, or just in general, to help celebrate life in general. Who do you particularly, or who do you see most often come to you? Is it a particular category of people, person, or all ages, all backgrounds?
Often, Sigrid, it is people that are 40 and over, those who've already had some experiences in life. And I would have to say, very safely, it's usually 50 plus, because that's when we're transitioning in a variety of ways in our life. Sometimes it's health that diminishes some of our abilities, that there is a loss. And that is also a time when people are becoming empty nesters or just maybe not even feeling fulfilled in their workplace, right? Their role. And sometimes we don't even have to have people change jobs. Sometimes it's just asking the right questions and what would create more spark in this job that you love that you're feeling unvalued, right? What can we do to change that? So it doesn't have to be huge shifts. It could be little things that need to be adjusted. And if you believe, you will find joy.
Ah, that is fantastic. And that is so great to have that behind you. So we can now, every time we see you somewhere online, believe, find joy easily. So let us conclude today's interview with a short message or a couple of ideas that you'd like to leave viewers with from this today's
Oh,
discussion.
all right. Well, I just want everyone to know that there is this word that we keep using called someday. But the last time I looked on my calendar, it didn't exist. We have Sunday through Saturday, but no someday. And I truly believe that the best time to start is today. Let today be the beautiful beginnings of you living your best life. And I really want to inspire everyone just to take every little moment in your day and just collect beautiful moments. And you'll be surprised at how absolutely wonderful life really is.
That is a wonderful message. Thank you, Connie. Don't wait for someday or put it onto a someday. Make it today. I just love it. Find the joy today. And if you're not exactly sure how to do so, Connie is here for us to give us that step up, that help through a lot of questioning for us to find exactly what we've somewhere dug away and that's not showing so that we can find that joy. Thank you so much, Connie, for our interview today.
Thank you. It's been a real pleasure.
Always lovely talking to you. Thank you.